I am so sorry, everyone. I don't know. My connection got cut off, and Instagram actually told me that my that my video had ended. So let's try this again. It must have been my connection. Apologies for that. Here we go. Let's wait till people come back in. This is weird. I've never had that problem before, but you know what? Internet. It's the internet, people. Hey,
Hello,
Concept,
and
what's
it
up?
worked. What's up?
I think it was me. So sorry
Yeah,
for that.
it's okay. I have terrible service where I am too, so I wasn't really sure who
Sure,
said.
who it was.
But we're here.
Who looks like a Trump supporter? Who's that?
Who, me?
No, somebody says you look like a Trump supporter. Is that me? I'm
Oh,
not a Trump supporter, so.
not I.
Yeah, so I don't know who you
Not
are, but if
I.
you don't like this live, you can just leave. We don't, hold guns to people's head to be in here.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I had a bunch of people in here. Hope they're coming back soon. Thank you for wanting to be a guest.
of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we doing the filters now?
I was gonna put my face on it, but I wasn't sure what was gonna happen.
Yeah, you know what? I did it one time, a filter, and then I was like, you know what? Nah, let's just do it as I go. As tired as I look on these days, because I just came back from the studio. I was in the studio all day and working, and I just raced back home and jumped on here. So,
Hell
you
yeah!
know.
How'd the studio go?
Oh, it was just work. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to do that off the record with you because I may have some interesting opportunities for you, which we can discuss. But that's not what this live is for. So, as everyone is joining us again in this live, and people are actually coming in for you as well, your audience, I started this What Now series basically to motivate people in the creative industry that got shut down due to the pandemic. In March I started, and this is probably talk number, I want to say 54. I'm going to have to
Okay.
check. Yeah, I've done a
Well,
whole
I'm
bunch of,
happy to be number 54.
oh no, the thing is that I didn't think it was going to be so great. Like,
Yeah,
a
that's
lot of
awesome.
people asking me, please keep doing it, even if there's no pandemic,
Yeah,
because it's so inspiring. And that's the whole, thing
yeah.
about this talk. So my first
Oh,
question to you is, how has the pandemic affected you personally and business wise?
well, tremendously. Um, Well, okay, where do we start? Well, before the pandemic hit, I released my Champagne Konny album.
Right.
Uh, I was touring that, so I did Europe. We did like right when the album dropped, I did Hip Hop Camp in Czech Republic, and then we did the UK, and then I came back to the US. Basically, like we were gearing up to, basically setting the tone of what was going to happen for the next year. And
Right.
so, I toured there for a few months, and then I came back to LA to finish some more recording, and then I was going back on the road, and I was supposed to actually start the tour in March. I was supposed to be in Europe basically for March, April, and May, and then like we had already had that booked, and then we were booking all the festivals for the whole summer. So,
Right.
so I mean, in that aspect, I mean, all those tours were canceled, all the traveling was canceled.
Yep.
So obviously financially, that's a loss as well. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that definitely affected, that tremendously. But, there's a lot of positives from it as well. The positives were that, at the time I was back in LA only for a few weeks, and I had, this little window to finish a whole bunch of recording that I wanted
Right.
to do before I had to go back on the road. So it was kind of like, there was a moment where I was like, damn, how am I going to get this done and be able to get the videos done and the artwork
Now you
done,
had the time.
really get the vision to do it. And exactly like what it did was, it gave me the time to, it gave me the time to finish that. And then, it went on for longer than we could have imagined or thought, so
Yeah.
it was just, I just kept recording, and I got so much done and so many ideas that I, didn't have in my head at that time. The ideas that I did have, I was able to grow on those and
Yeah.
get better. And so the positive is that I've made the best music that I've ever made in my life, and I locked myself in a studio for 7
That's
months.
great.
So that was a good aspect of it. But obviously there's both sides of it. And
Yeah.
And, you know, and with it now, it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready.
But we're all ready.
We're ready to open.
Months.
Come on, let me fly somewhere.
I know it's real. It's becoming reality now that this is the new normal, as people say it. Especially for creative people being in this industry, you know, all the creative arts, the culture has been shut down, and it's been hit hardest, especially over here as well in the Netherlands. So, you know, we're all ready to go. It's like, okay, cool. We done this. We are tapping into our, you know, our savings and whatnot. We need to go right now. And so the trick is to create another revenue stream with your business. So, so to say, where that can coexist next to being able to tour or to, you know, do other things that we normally used to do. And there have been talks with artists that have been doing things, but also artists that don't necessarily focus on business, but take this time out to actually sit down, work on themselves personally, mentally, because people are always on the go. Like you said, you were busy going on tour, flying from here to there. Has it helped you basically be more at peace or work on yourself or do more personal things that you always wanted to do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like little things, you know, like I was just having a conversation about this just the other day too. Like, you know, when you're touring and you're moving and traveling so much and I'm on the go and, you know, like even when I'm not on tour and I'm at home, it's still like a constant, like, all right, I need you to be at this meeting. I need you to be across town at this radio show. I need you to, you know, go socialize with this person, you know, and, you know, all of those things, you know, especially like I live in LA, is like, you know, hey, I need you to go to Hollywood. And it's like, all right, it's rush hour traffic. It's going to take 20 minutes, you know. So
that's
like,
a meeting of half hours, like 3 hours out of your day at least.
For sure. And if you have 3 of them in the day, then it's like,
the whole day's gone.
And depending like where they are, like they're typically not going to be right next to each other. You know what I mean?
Never.
And like LA, you get into a car and it's like 2 miles, 47 minutes. You're like, what?
I know.
You know,
I've done it last year. I was like, I have 2 meetings and my whole day's gone. What's going on? That never happens in Amsterdam. I got like 6 meetings.
Like I think I could have lunch at 6:30 p.m. today.
Right.
But so like, you know, for like little things like that, like it's definitely been like, you know, a thing of where I'm able to set more of like a regiment and like a time schedule to be like, okay, I'm gonna exercise today and I'm gonna like eat healthy because I could like actually go to the grocery store and buy food and I have time to cook it at home and eat it at home. And
so you've done that?
Yeah, I've been impressing myself with the meals.
Trying new recipes.
I'm like, oh shit, this is fire.
But now the trick is to keep up with that when things, you know, go back.
Exactly.
Do you think you're able to do that?
I mean, I think that I'm definitely I mean, maybe not like as fully as I'm able to now, you know what I mean? Obviously, like when things do open up, there will be, you know, we're like hopefully, like when they hopefully like open up like that again. You know, there'll obviously be like things like, you know, like I'll definitely be like, hey, I need you here and I need to be in this place and this place. So there'll definitely be, you know, a little less time of like being able to know that every day I'm gonna be home all day, you know. But at the same time, it'll definitely be something that I put more focus on balancing.
Right.
And like little things, you know, like I said, like as a touring artist, like there's just certain things that you don't really get the opportunity to do. Like I don't get the opportunity on tour to go work out for an hour. You know what I mean? I don't get the time to be like, I'm going to eat healthy today because I might be in a van that's only passing the McDonald's.
You should definitely put healthy stuff on your rider at least.
Oh, I definitely
have that status already.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. You know what I mean? Like again, there's always been like a balance to it.
Right.
But then there's like just certain things that like they're just out of your control.
Yeah, you know?
I know. Like sometimes, like for instance, when I perform, I you know, I have a lot of energy on stage, and I like to move. So
it
like,
is a workout.
so
Performing is a workout.
yeah, for sure. But like, you know, I don't eat before I go on stage, obviously, because I don't want to feel like I can't move. So sometimes by the time I get off the stage, talk to my fans at the merch table, et cetera, and then I walk out of the venue at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm
And
starving.
you forgot to eat. Yeah.
And I'm starving, and it's like, well, what am I going to eat? The only thing that's open is
McDonald's.
Fried chicken shop, or like, you know,
right.
So like, there's those things that like you don't, you know what I mean, that are sort of out of your control in a way. You know what I mean? So
I have a tip for you for that.
Okay.
Prepare a cold salad, a meal like a meal salad or something. So you at least have something healthy.
Like after,
You don't have to heat it up, but at least it's something that can hold you down till the morning, where you can have a breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people that
you're absolutely right. You know, like I said, like I try to do, you know, try to keep on some sort of regimen even when I am on tour.
Right.
There's just like, you know, there's just the times where you just, again, don't have that like flexibility.
But that's in regular life too.
Yeah, exactly.
So is it, okay, so that's the physical aspect of it. Did you have like some type of, how do you say it, break mentally? Do you feel like you were working on yourself as far as, hey, I need to be in better situations for me, or I need to create a better space for me to be at peace? Or especially with the balance with tour life, you now have more time to be with yourself and to really think about what you want and what you need as far as, you know, being satisfied as a person with your career and your life.
Yeah, for sure. I think that they kind of go both kind of go hand in hand in a way, you know, like, you know, like the physical aspect of it, you know, just help me, like, you know, again, it's just sort of like, even that is like to get into that space of being able to like get that routine down and that like healthy, like, you know, again, wake up in the morning and, you know, exercise for an hour before I smoke my weed. You know what I mean? But, you know, things like that, you know, I think that, you know, the physical aspect helps with that too. Like even, you know, my sleeping, I'm like someone who just has a terrible sleeping pattern. I like,
most creative people do.
Like, I think like, well, one, my job is a late night job, right? And then two, my brain, I just have a hard time like turning off and actually like focusing on sleeping and not being like, oh, I got this email and I got this call and tomorrow morning I got to get up and do this and this and this and this. So, you know, it definitely like helped to be like, okay, I'm going to like go to sleep at a relatively normal hour. I'm going to like get up early and like feel good about getting up early, not like I have to get up to jump in a van. So, you know, that for sure has helped, you know, my mental space. And, you know, honestly, like I said, like when it all happened, I just kind of locked myself in the studio because it gave me like, it was like, okay, cool, I could finish this album. And then I had like other ideas. So I literally just locked myself in for like, I mean, I'm in New York right now and I've been in LA for the whole quarantine and COVID. Right. So I got back to New York about 4 weeks ago. And as you can see, I'm in nature.
Very good.
So this has, coming back here has definitely been a, you know, help put my mind to ease, just being like out of like a city. And, cause like I said, even when like everything happened, it was kind of, I still didn't really slow down. There was like things that slowed down and obviously like staying at home and those things like in depth, like I already
mind
said,
is still racing.
Yeah. My mind was still like, okay, like I still like, all right, touring's not happening, traveling's not happening, which again, financially is a loss. So it was like, all right, well, what am I going to do to make up for that income?
Right.
You know, and then like, what can I do because who knows when it's going to happen? I mean, still currently, we don't really know when it's coming back.
Right.
You know?
We really don't know.
We can hope, but.
Well, we've been hoping. Now I'm just living and taking it day by day.
I know.
I'm not really trying to predict any future anymore. I'm not trying to make plans further than next week. I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
yeah, I know. And in a way, it's kind of like, again, like it's kind of actually like mentally, like it's kind of a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes I'll be like, you know, because usually like I'll be working late at night and I'll be like, I'm tired, I should go to sleep, but like, nah, I need to finish this because I got too much to do tomorrow. Now I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
I can do this tomorrow.
Right. There's no rush on anything anymore.
Yeah.
If anything, this pandemic helped us stand still and smell the roses.
For sure.
I mean, a lot of people see it as a terrible thing, but I honestly can say that 2020 has been one of the best years for me, personally and business-wise.
I like to hear that.
It honestly is. I'm not just saying that, but the thing
is
that 2020 brought me, despite the pandemic, I'm not going to say because of the pandemic, but also despite the pandemic, have been amazing. And I've always been in a situation where I had to struggle and make the best out of situations. So I'm used to it. So when this thing hit, everybody like, oh, what we're going to do? And I've been working from home. I've been self-employed. I've been struggling. I've been trying to make ends meet.
Been adapting, figuring it out, been through it all. I mean,
so
same.
it was
I've been through all this shit. It's like, you can't beat me. Come on,
I got the experience to deal with this. Like, life prepared me for this moment.
Exactly. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So it's just another way of adapting, And I think honestly, like people there's like two sides of it, right? Like people in like entertainment, I'll say, not even just music, but people in entertainment,
right,
I think took it one of the hardest, right?
Yeah.
Because you're on, like, if you're an actor or an entertainer, like that, like you're on sets that you can't be on anymore.
Right. You can't work.
If you're a makeup artist, you can't be touching people's faces,
If you work behind a bar in a club.
Yeah. If you're a DJ who only makes their income on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then at the same time, right, the people in the entertainment industry have been the people who have had to learn to adapt over and over and over and over again. So it's kind of like a double-headed thing, It's kind of like, damn, well, we got hit the hardest, but at the same time, we know how to fucking get through this shit.
Yeah. And creative people always find creative solutions to anything. So for me, it also kind of weeds out those who are not made for this or cut out for this. Because if you see problems before you see solutions, and this is a thing that you can't get over, then maybe you should do something else. And maybe this pandemic put you down to really, this is what I mean with thinking of, what do I need to do in my life? Is this what I want to do? And it doesn't even have to be because you can't handle it, but it may give you a moment to really figure out, what is my passion? Is this really what I want to do? And so for me to not, been hit that hard mentally with it, financially, obviously, but mentally not, because I've had my moments where I wanted to quit this industry. Yeah. But I never did because I love it so much. This is my passion.
Because you can't, because it's you.
I can't. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the moment that I feel like when the pandemic
hit. I think anyone in this industry has at least had to want to quit at least one time. At least been like,
yeah, I know, right? Fuck. You have to. This industry is hard, man. If you never had that one or two times that you wanted to quit, then you haven't been in the industry enough yet.
or you're not passionate enough about it.
Right. This is true. This is very true.
Anything that you're passionate about, right? Like anything that you're passionate about has up and downs, obviously.
Yes.
So if you haven't had a feeling in your career and your passion that's been like low and hard, then you probably don't love it enough.
This is very true. I want to believe, or you have surrounded yourself with amazing people that never fucked you over or something.
Or you are lucky as fuck.
Right. You just skated through all the hardships, but then it might still hit you at some point. Mm-hmm. But talking about the music, the industry, your music, your career, I just realized, as much as you've been in Europe, I don't believe we've ever met in person.
We haven't. We've just been social media friends.
Like, we've been like, passing each other probably,
mutual
by a day
friends,
or by a month in all the places that I've been and you've been. And you've worked with so many people that I know. So it's kind of weird that we've never met, but I don't even know how long I've known you.
I don't either, but it's been a while though. I feel like it's like very early Instagram,
Yeah, well, not even Instagram. It's before. I think it was
like maybe MySpace.
MySpace. Honestly, most people that I can't remember how I met them is probably MySpace.
That's too funny.
Like
it literally might have been.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think you're doing great, and getting reconnected to you through Instagram was amazing. So, you know, it's. I mean, of course, people can't keep up with everyone all the time. Everybody lives their lives, but but it's awesome to see. And when I was reading about what you've all done, I was just. I mean, I was already impressed, but I just love the fact that you don't have the regular story like every other artist has. I don't even want to say rapper, but just artist, and which is why I felt like you would be great for this talk. You've done so many things unconventional, in my opinion. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, what was the time in your career that you felt like, okay, now I'm getting somewhere. This is the point of, I don't want to say no return, but this is the point where I feel like I can do this professionally and make a living out of it and make my life out of it.
I think that's a good question. I think that it's a multiple answer question, because I feel like there's been multiple times in my career and in my path and in my journey that I felt like that, and I felt like that on different levels, you know? And I think that, you know, just with time and with work and with experience and with, you know, building things in any profession or in any path, right? You get to certain levels, and it kind of opens up your vision to see like what is actually going on, or what's available, or what opportunities are there, you know? So I think in multiple times in my career is when, you know, different things kind of opened up in my perspective, where I was like, oh shit, like this can work, or, oh, I could actually do this, when, you know, when prior to that, I didn't see that was even a possibility, you know what I mean? So, you know, like with that said, like, you know, we'll start, like, you know, I worked for Fat Beats Records, and I worked at, you know, the store. One thing I'll say is, like, music has always been my, you know, my passion and my love, like, forever. So, you know, I've been Koncept since I'm 7 years old. It was originally given to me as my graffiti name. And then I, you know, I got turntables when I was like 11 or 12 years old. And, you know, I just love, like, I've always just loved music and art. And, you know, I draw. I went to school for graphic design. So it's just always been a part of my life.
Person,
it's just always been, you know, it's always been my life, period. So, but then, you know, when I started, basically, like, I did it kind of like for myself and for fun, and I would, like, you know, mixtapes and things like that, you know, but it was when I, like, started working at Fat Beats the first time, like, that I realized, when I started working at Fat Beats, it was the first time that I realized, like, okay, like, people actually dig what I'm doing and respect it, and the people that I've respected and looked up to my whole life respect it. So, like, it has to be something, you know, like the first time that I had, I mean, just to, you know, and I'm not saying this on some cool shit. I'm just saying this because it was one of those moments for me that I was like, damn, that's fire. I remember being in Fat Beats, and one of my songs was playing.
Oh no. You're freezing. Is it me? Is it him? People let me know. Is it me freezing, or is it him freezing? Whose connection is it? Is it mine? I hope not. What's going on? Maybe he should leave and get in and get back in here. It was going so well. Hey, Nikki. Okay, he left. He's coming back. I think it's him. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. He'll be back in here. We were just getting to the good part. He was talking about his song was being played in the store in Fat Beats. And I'm now wondering, have I seen him at Fat Beats at that time? Because I was in New York at the time. Let's see if we can get his connection together. Thank you all for being in here. If you have questions, please put them in the question box. I do see a couple questions in there already. Don't worry. I will get to them as soon as we get the moment. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Our energy was messing with his Wi-Fi. Let's hope he can get it together, though. Let's pray that he gets back on his Wi-Fi, because we were getting to the good part. Let me know where you guys are from, and yeah, if you guys are doing good out there, Koncept has been, you know, a great person that I've known for quite some time now, we realized. And I'm happy to have him in here, but he needs to come back. He needs to get his Wi-Fi together so we can finish this conversation, or at least continue the conversation. I'm really bad at monologues, so if somebody wants to ask me a question, feel free to do so. Yeah, I see people already like getting out here. It's getting good. Oh, LA. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, so you're not originally from LA, saying you're learning the music scene out there. I actually was supposed to be in LA this year again, but that didn't work out. Nikki, I don't know if you're still in here, but yeah, you may have to be a guest on my show as well, because your music is amazing as well. Plus, I don't have a lot of female guests, not because of anything, but yeah, there have not been a lot that responded to my request. Yeah, girl, I see you. Let's get it. Let's go. We should do this sometime. I'll hit you up. Come on, Koncept, where you at? Let me hit him up. I think his whole Wi-Fi cut out. Yeah, Nikki's in LA as well, right? So yeah. Cool. Got a lot of LA people. It's 12:30 out there. It's late here. I had a long day, and I really want to keep this conversation going, but he's not responding. So I'm thinking either his phone died or his Wi-Fi cut out. Maybe his phone died. He wasn't really prepared for that. I don't want to reschedule this. I had this last week with Egyptian, who lost the connection, and then his phone died. I'm not going to have another one of these because it's such a shame to have to cut off in the middle of conversations when it's getting good. BK, Bed-Stuy, do or die. Yeah, Brooklyn. Love Brooklyn. I'm always in Brooklyn when I'm in New York. Nikki, I'm in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Yep, it is 9:30 p.m. over here. So it's been a long day for me. Mondays are always long for me. Studio day, office day, and then live talks in the evening. And I do them this late because I want to make sure that people from the West Coast are able to tune in as well. So yeah, Rotterdam. You love Rotterdam. Why not Amsterdam? I'm from Amsterdam. No, Rotterdam is cool too. I have family there and friends, obviously. I have an artist living in Rotterdam, actually. So yeah. He needs to come back with his butt because we got questions in the question box. I got questions I want to ask him. So what's going on? Sierra, if you're still in here, get him back on here. Oh, really? CJ Tyson Music. You performed at the theater here in 2006. Oh, there he goes. Okay. We're getting him back in here. Okay, Nikki, when you come to Amsterdam, me and you are hanging. So let's go. Okay, what happened?
My phone's plugged in. I don't understand why I turned off. Anyway, sorry about that.
I had to do a whole 5-minute monologue. I'm so bad at that, man.
I was like, you know when you're like, I'm like looking at the phone, I'm like, turn back on, turn back on, turn back on.
I know. But,
we should be good, though. I've had this plugged into this portable battery. I don't understand what the hell just happened.
And you know what? I called it. I said maybe his phone died. So
1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries. Good night, Kevin. Don't worry about it. You can watch this later on Instagram live. Yo, he be all over the place. Yeah, this will be up on IGTV. So y'all can look back at how funny this conversation has been. But I'm happy that Koncept is back because I wasn't having another reschedule.
No, I was like, yeah. No, I can't believe it just happened.
I know. And you know what? We were just getting to the good part. You were all excited. You were in Fat Beats and your song got on.
Okay, yeah. So we'll go right back to it. Yeah, so I'm in Fat Beats. We there? Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yeah. No, we're here.
All right. So where was that? Oh yeah. So we were talking about how where I kind of realized that this was for me and this was my path and my journey. And like I was saying, for those that maybe missed that part of what I was saying was that, you know, there was multiple times in my career where, or in my path, I'll say in my journey, to finding, you know, to knowing that it was my career, that really gave me that energy and that understanding and that knowing that, like, this is my path and this is the right thing that I'm doing and this is the direction that I need to be going in. So I was saying, like, early on, you know, one of the like early things that I remember that really like made me see that was, you know, was seeing the people that I always looked up to and I idolized and my heroes, fucking with my music and, you know, and respecting my music and respecting me as an artist and seeing me as a colleague, you know, and that for me was like, wow. And like one of the people that I'll say is, like, I remember like being in Fat Beats and my song was on, like, we'd play music obviously in the store and my song was on and DJ Premier came in and DJ Premier, because DJ Eclipse, from Nonfiction, La Coca Nostra, etc., was the manager of the store. And so Premier would come in. I mean, it's Fat Beats, so obviously he'd come in anyway, but he would come in because he was friends with Eclipse. So he'd come in and just like chill. Like, he'd go to Ray's Pizza and get a slice of pizza and just come in and kick it, which was like always like cool as shit for me, because obviously I grew up listening to Gangstar, etc. So like so for me it was like, you know, DJ Premier is my fucking hero, you know, and one of them. And like, so just being able to like hang out with him in the store and have normal conversations with him was like cool as hell, because it wouldn't even be like on some weird, it'd be like talking about like fucking whatever, you know what I mean? Like how fucking good Ray's Pizza was or whatever, you know? So, but yeah, he came in the store one day. I think he actually was eating a slice of pizza from Ray's. And he came in and my song was on and he looked over and was like, "This is dope. Who's this?" And I was like, "This is me." And he was like, "Can you send this to me? I want to play it on my show." And I was like,
"Wow."
Fuck yeah, you know? So like, you know, that was definitely like a, you know, a moment that I'll never forget, and like a big moment in something that like told me, like,
of course,
okay, like, you know, like the person who like majority of the hip hop world especially see as like the greatest producer of all time is telling me that my song is dope and that he wants to play it on his radio show. I was like, that's a fucking win for me.
You don't need any more approval.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. You know?
Everybody can hate it, but he said he liked it, so that's enough.
Yeah. You know, and then like I said, like there's been different moments, you know, that again, just like things just open up and opportunities happen, or like, you know, you sort of step into something and like it just kind of opens up a whole different perspective of being like, you know, like at one point I was thinking like, okay, at this level is where I want to be. You know what I mean? Like as far as like success, like I want to be doing, you know, I want to be playing, you know, the festivals and playing shows constantly. You know, that was like one goal. And then once I started doing, like, getting to play those shows on a regular basis and being booked for those shows and being paid to perform, then it was like, all right, well, now I want to turn this 250 person venue. Now I want to be playing 1,000-person venues. Now I want to be playing. Then like when I got to do that, then it was like, all right, well, now I want to be on that big stage at that festival that I saw such and such play at for 20,000 people. And I want to know what that feeling is. You know what I mean? When again, prior to that, I couldn't have known or even seen or comprehended like what that would be, because I didn't get to this level. You know what I mean? So, you know, so it was like all those things, you know, I think one of the biggest moments.
All those things were points. Yeah.
Yeah. Like one of the biggest.
This is great.
Exactly. You know, like this is great. And then it's like, oh shit, but look, I can do that. Like, that's what I want, you know?
But you're going to keep having that in life.
Always. I mean, for me anyway, not everybody, but like for me, like, I just honestly, like, you know, it's not even about like the end goal, right? Because it's not real, to be honest. Like, I don't know if I have like an end goal, because like I said, and like we just said, like, every time I like hit another goal or hit another step, my goals broaden and they get bigger, you know what I mean? And my dreams get bigger. So, I just want to fucking make music and fucking resonate with the most people in the world that I can. And, phone drop.
I don't want to cut you off, but your Wi-Fi has been bugging, so we can hear
really?
you, but your visual is like frozen. It's been frozen.
Let me make sure of something. Hold on.
Let me see.
I mean, we hear you, but
you hear me?
It might be your phone. Yeah, I hear you, but it might be just the connection that makes sure that the visual is the camera is.
Hold on, I'm just
frozen. I see something happening.
What about now?
I see you.
Can you see me?
I can see you, but it's a little bit slow and delayed and pixelated. But I mean, we're just gonna have to continue with this. As long as I can hear you, I'm okay. I see you moving now, but I don't want, because we only have an hour from Instagram.
Yeah.
And there's so much more I want to ask you, and there's also questions from people. So there's a few. I'm going to skip a few questions. So one question that I really want to ask you is, what do you think has been your biggest mistake in your career, which turned out to be your biggest lesson that you can give out?
Ooh, that's a good one. My biggest lesson, which turned out to be my biggest reward, I guess, is we work in an entertainment industry where people can be very egotistical. People could be very greedy and selfish and things of that nature. It's just the nature of what the industry is, unfortunately. And I've definitely trusted some of the wrong people a time or two.
We all have.
So I would say that my biggest mistake was trusting some of the wrong people, and but at the same time, with that said, mistakes I think are okay, and things, failures and fuck ups.
That's why I said have to turn into lessons.
Yeah, they turn into lessons, and I'm very much a believer of, like, things are meant to happen and meant to be, like how they turn. So, even those times or that mistake or those mistakes, they led to me learning and being stronger and knowing for the next time, and they led to other opportunities.
Right.
And one of those times happened at a time right before. I think you might know a little bit about it. I'm not sure who's listening, who knows, but I spent a lot of time in Asia, and and that was that was an opportunity that came to me that that happened at around the time where I found out that someone that I was involved with, business-wise, etc., wasn't the right person for me to be working with, and it came around a time when that opportunity, I figured out what was happening and what needed to change and where it was fucked up, and then and then I got that opportunity to go to Asia, and that opportunity turned into an amazing opportunity, and to more opportunities, and to expansion and building and growing, and again, one of those moments where I'm like, oh shit, I can do this, so
right.
So the mistakes are okay. The mistakes are good, I think. I actually think that the mistakes are good. I feel kind of bad for someone who hasn't had the opportunity of a mistake.
Well, that's the thing. Well, there are people that make mistakes and don't learn from them. Mistakes are only great if you learn from them and know how to apply them and know how to use that to your advantage for the next opportunity.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is. I'm moving on to the next question, so I can
real quick,
make sure we have enough time to.
Can you see me now?
I can, but you're still freezing every now and then, you're pixelated.
Let me try to
like a robot.
One second, I'm just gonna try to turn my Wi-Fi off and see if that's better.
All right. Cool. Because we do want to see him.
How's that?
It might. Yeah. That actually. Hey, you're back.
I'm back.
You're moving again.
Oh, and the phone fell. Don't get too excited.
That's okay.
And now you can see me?
This is so much better.
Oh, fucking
yes.
Perfect. New York
we have moving
Wi-Fi.
images again
Nice.
from you. Okay, so let me just go to a few questions that have been asked by the people.
Okay.
Let's start with
people.
How do you deal with okay, Robert Anthony, great person. How do you deal with negative comments in your artistry, especially now everyone is on the phone? Now everyone on the phone be mean. He's trying to put it in the I guess in the space that he has. So yeah, everyone on the phone is like an internet thug. How do you deal with that?
I'll tell you how I deal with it is that the music that I'm making, the art that I'm making is always the art and the music that I want to make. It's always true to myself. You know, I don't try to do anything to be anybody else or try to make anything to be anybody else. So, you know, if people fuck with it, they fuck with it. And if they don't, they don't, you know? And,
exactly.
You know,
everyone has an opinion.
Exactly. Everyone has an opinion. And, you know, I'm grateful that my music does reach people that do fuck with it and do, you know, appreciate it and give me that, you know, love and that feedback as well. So when I see a negative comment or some shit, I kind of just brush it off because it's like, it's not meant for you then. And then honestly, a lot of like the negative comments too are just, you know, these like you said, like internet thugs or whatever that are just like talking shit. Like, I had a dude. I'm gonna tell you actually a message that I got like just like 3-4 days ago. The dude sends me a message, a DM on Instagram. First of all, I don't know who the dude is. You know what I mean? I have no idea. I don't follow the person. And I get a message, and he said, "Bro, I've been listening to your music." First of all, he follows me, by the way, too.
Right.
And he sends me a message, "Bro, I've been listening to your music. I rap way better than you, and this isn't even my profession." And so I just like,
okay, thank you for your opinion.
So I read the message and I'm like, okay, well, thanks for listening.
Right.
And thanks for following me. Thanks for the support, question mark. You know, like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you're all right. Well, you're listening to my music and you're following me. So
opinion, yeah.
Okay, you rap better than me. Cool, awesome.
Well, good luck with that.
Have a great day. See you later.
Right. Good. I wish you much luck with your rap career.
My new song comes out in 2 weeks. I hope you love it.
Right. So make sure you listen to that one.
Yeah. Make sure you click that heart on Spotify. Thanks.
Right. And then give me an opinion again.
And then tell me that you made a song that's better.
Right.
Please.
No, but you know what? That's the only thing you can do. People will have opinions. Like you said, you make music for you. You put it out there. If people resonate with it and relate to it, that's great. If they don't, then it's not for them. There's something for everyone. Not everyone's going to like it.
Obviously, I want people to enjoy the music. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I'm making the art that like I love. Like, I love making music. But
people will love it if it's genuine. There's always people that relate to that. And the thing is that you can't please everyone, and not everyone has the same taste in music. I mean, I can actually feel like somebody has great music, but I don't necessarily play it. I can distinguish quality from my own taste.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's why I'm an artist consultant. I can help everyone. I just don't listen to everyone because I have my preferences. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Robert Anthony. Okay. Oh, well, HK Billy says, this isn't a question, but I just want to thank Konny for tuning in with your boy. Much love. Okay.
What's up, HK?
You know him, or is this just a fan?
I don't know.
Well, that's great. Okay. Shy Inc. says, what's your favorite place to perform in Europe?
Ooh, damn, that's a hard fucking question because I really like all of them.
Well, you're talking to one place now. No,
I haven't played in Amsterdam yet. I was supposed to play on this tour, which got canceled.
Where were you playing? Do you remember?
Nah, I'll look it up and I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that you know that you probably know the promotion company and shit. Right. I would assume so because they do a lot of things.
Who knows? But, I don't know everyone.
Lots. But yeah, I'll tell you. I'll look it up afterwards. But So I haven't been to Amsterdam yet, which will probably be one of my favorite places for sure. I mean, I love
because I'm here.
I love exactly. I love London. I've played in London a bunch of times. So like, just like my, my
London
audience
is great.
my audience there is fucking turned up and live. And,
yeah.
And I know the city really well. And, so I just love being in London. Actually, like, London really reminds me a lot of New York. I grew up in Queens. I'm from Queens, and, New York forever. So like, London.
Amsterdam should remind you of New York, because we have a lot. I mean, it used to be New Amsterdam, so
Yeah. I can't wait
let's
to come
go
over
to
there.
let's go to the next question. Nikki actually says, without live music venues, what's your opinion of where the industry is going and what it looks like for the next year? That's a good question.
Well, there will be a lot of, kind of like we spoke about earlier when you were asking me about my touring and just about how I locked myself into the studio. And, honestly, I've made the best music of my life. I mean, I obviously, like, you always want to make better and better music, but, like, I feel that this period, it, like, really put me into a focus. You know what I mean? Like, every day I was in the studio. Like, every day I knew, like, all right, I'm going to sleep, I'm waking up, and I'm back in the studio to either, like, finish that song and or to work on a new one and or to just build more ideas. So with that, like, momentum and that energy and all those ideas, like, I myself even was making the best music that I've ever made. So, like, I feel like anyone that's been in that same realm and that same energy, that same, capacity and movement is going to be the same. So you're going to see a lot of like your favorite artists have a lot of new music right now, and they've been on it. You know what I mean? So like they're, it's like anything. The more you practice, the more you put into something, the better you're going to be at it. Like listen, when I'm on tour, by my 6th show in, I'm on fire. You know what I mean? Like, you don't miss anything because you're doing it constantly every day, So, like, it's the same with recording. When you're recording every day, you, like, I've really found, like, I was in it. Like, it was in my pocket, you know what I mean? And, like, and every artist is going to be like that. So, anyone that was putting in that dedication and that time to that. So, there's going to be a lot of really good, powerful music coming from all of this.
We're looking forward to it. I spoke to Chip Fu not too long ago.
Hell yeah.
And what's interesting is that he was telling me that he had new music before March. And then over this time, these 6 months of pandemic, he actually had to go back and change some of his songs because he changed so much as a person because of what's going on in the world, the pandemic, the anti-racism, stuff. So he had to go back and change some of the songs because he felt like that wasn't him anymore. And that's only over a span of a couple months. I thought that was very powerful to see the impact of what's going on in the world right now on somebody's music. And just like you say, you now are made some of the best music that you feel you've ever made. And that's what you want as an artist. You want to grow into becoming better.
For sure. Absolutely. And I think that makes sense too. Like, just because, you know what I mean, with everything that's been going on, it's obviously been something that's very powerful,
Yeah.
So, depending on, the music that you're making, even me, like I said, I've worked on a lot of music, but like some of the songs that I'm releasing in, like, right now, because I'm doing a thing where I'm releasing a new single every 3 weeks. And that's going to be all for the rest of 2020 and all for 2021.
Wow.
So, with that said, and all the music is done, like, and I'm still recording more.
I'm sure it has been. At the time.
So, but with that said, some of it, like I said, like before that tour got canceled and this happened, I was already working on an album. And then when this happened was when I like zoned in, finished that, and then got these other ideas. And instead of actually releasing them as an album right now, I'm going to release them as the singles, like I said.
Right.
But like some of the songs that I had recorded prior to the pandemic hitting and or prior to even being like really in the pandemic, the message and the power and the emotion behind some of these records changed, obviously. And a lot of the records that are coming out first were records that were recorded after,
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that, coming from Chip Fu and or, other artists. And shout out to Chip Fu, by the way.
Yeah, man. Chip is like legend.
Yeah, I played with Chip Fu once in Brooklyn.
Nice.
It was me, Chip Fu, and Brand Nubian.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, coming back to the DJ Premier thing, have you ever approached him in doing a song together because he was a fan?
Well, I've recorded at headquarters.
Okay.
So I've like recorded in DJ Premier's room in his studio. You know, like kicked it with him many, many times. I think that it's something that'll happen eventually, you know?
Very good. Timing is everything.
I think, yeah, timing is everything for sure. And, you know, I'm very much like, I mean, I would absolutely love to work with DJ Premier at any time, but it's also something that I don't want to, like, with any relationship or with any artist or just in general, like, you know what I mean? Like, when it happens at the right time is when, and not even for business wise, but also for the art itself. Like, that's when the best art is made.
Yeah. So. 100%. So what I do with my guests, well, what I do in life is I like to speak things into existence. So what I ask my guests is, are there any people, is there a bucket list of people that you always wanted to work with? So we're going to speak it into existence. Well, DJ Premier is one. That will happen. Are there any more people that you want to work with? It don't have to be music artists. It could be anything else you want to do in life.
Yeah, I want to work with Hit Boy.
With Hit Boy. Okay, cool. Speaking that into existence.
Yeah, I am.
That's it?
I mean, there's other people, but we're going to keep it at Hit Boy because I'm going to make that happen. Okay, cool. You know? Listen, I can tell you a bunch of people that I would want to work with.
Fine. That's
but
fine.
We're gonna keep it with Hit Boy, and watch. I'm going to work with Hit Boy.
Cool. Well, again, if you do, remember I helped you with this. I spoke it into existence.
Yeah, I might even have you do an ad lib to add to the song.
I'll do it. You know, I can lay 16 for you if you want to.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that another time. Is there an advice or a life motto that you have for people to give out? Because one of the reasons, again, is I do these with guests that I find have a story to tell, are inspiring, people look up to and are motivating. It doesn't matter who you are, what status you have, or how many followers you have. I pick the people. And that sounds crazy, but it's my life. I'm inspired by the people that I talk to. I'm inspired by you. So is there anything that you feel like, okay, this is my mantra or my life motto?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first, I just want to say thank you. You know, like we said before, we've known each other for a while, and you inspire me as well. And I've always thought very highly of you. So thank you for inviting me on. And you know, I appreciate all that love. My motto, if you will, is you know, celebrate and, you know, be grateful for, you know, everything along your journey. And, you know, again, like we spoke about before, and it's something that I very strongly believe in. And again, it's my motto, if you will, is, you know, celebrate your failures and celebrate your mistakes.
Yes.
As well as your wins, you know, but celebrate it all, because that's who makes you you. That's what gives you the strength, and that's what gives you the knowledge to continue to move on. So
definitely.
And that's why my album is called Champagne Konny, and so I'm very much into, you know, again, being yourself and being proud of that.
Right. Pop the bottles for every win.
and for every failure, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm not celebrating my failures until I've turned them into wins.
But you know that you're going to turn them into wins every time.
I already did. I don't fail anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done failing. I had so much failure in my life,
and it's absolutely okay if you do again.
I know, but it won't be to the same extent anymore because I learned.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but no, that was amazing. I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I did have some other things I wanted to ask you, but I don't want Instagram to cut us off. So we may do a part 2 at some point because, you know, we haven't touched on everything that I wanted to touch on.
I'd love you to let me know when.
Yeah. And you know, this person, Das Beats, that just got in here, amazing producer from London or England, I have to say. So, you know, that would be, he's produced for everybody and their mama as well. He's asking what your creative process is, but I think we should just, you know, hey, ask him in a DM or hit him up. because, you know, I think you two could make fire as well.
Yeah, I would love to. My man, hit me, send me a DM or a page.
Yeah.
Introduce us as well.
Yeah.
And,
I'll hit y'all up together.
Yeah,
I've been in his studio in London, and it's insane. It's insane. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm in London. I'm in London a lot, and actually, London is somewhere I'm allowed to fly to right now because it's not.
You know what? If you're gonna be in London, I'm gonna be in London because I have to go to London for some business too. So
well, we might have to make that happen.
Yes, we do. So at least we can have some tea and crumpets or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, some fish and chips.
But yeah, thank you so much. Stay safe out there in New York. Enjoy your nature, your peace, and keep creating.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to hit you up on the side about some other stuff because I just thought of all of that since we were reconnecting. I'm like, hey, I can involve you in some other opportunities as well. Thank you again.
I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday with an amazing producer named Beat Butcher, who's also in LA right now, and he's you know him. Yeah, he's done a lot of things.
I don't know him personally, but he works with House Shoes, right?
Yes, he does. Well, he's worked with everybody. He just honestly, I can't even remember the whole list, but he's actually from the UK as well. But he's lived here. He's lived in New York. He's worked with everybody from G Unit. He's worked with Jay and Beyonce. He's worked with a whole bunch of people. But I'll be back with him on Wednesday. Tune in whoever can. And Koncept, thank you so much.
Hey.
Everyone, check out his album Champagne Konny and all the new stuff that's coming up. And you and I will talk. Thank you so much.
Hey, Pat, thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Peace.